All children have the right to learn and grow in a safe environment, free from labor exploitation. To gain an up-to-date picture of the child labor situation in Vietnam and provide evidence to inform relevant policies and programs, Vietnam conducted its second National Child Labor Survey in 2018. At the time of the survey, the number of children aged 5 to 17 in Vietnam was estimated at more than 19 million. 94.4% of these children were in education. Compared to 2012 survey results, in 2018, the school attendance rate of children increased by over 4%. The survey estimated that more than 1.7 million children and minors are engaged in economic activities. Over 1 million children are engaged in child labor, accounting for 5.4% of 5 to 17-year-olds in Vietnam. 2.7% of children are engaged in heavy, hazardous and dangerous child labor. Children engaged in economic activities include 5 to 17-year-olds who undertake work for at least 1 hour on any day during the reference week. 54.5% of children engaged in economic activities are boys, and 45.5% are girls. Only 63% of working children attend school, which is significantly lower than the national school attendance rate of 94.4%. 3 out of 5 working children work in the agriculture, forestry or fishery sector. 20.1% of children participating in economic activities work for over 40 hours per week. 51.1% of children engaged in economic activities are household workers, contributing to their family income without a wage. Only 20.3% of children engaged in economic activities are paid. 58.8% of children participating in economic activities are engaged in child labor. Child labor is work that has been prohibited for children because it negatively impacts their physical health, mental well-being, development or schooling, which has implications for the future labor force of the country. The share of boys engaged in child labor is higher than that of girls. 84% of children in child labor live in rural areas. Children in child labor are engaged in diverse sectors, with more than half working in the agricultural sector. 34.2% of children in child labor work for more than 40 hours per week. More than half of all children in child labor started work at the age of 12 and over. Most child labor occurs in the informal economy within small-scale businesses. Only 31.8% of children in child labor are paid. Children in child labor face many risks and accidents at work. Boys aged 15 to 17 are the most at risk. Findings revealed that 50.4% of children in child labor are engaged in heavy, hazardous and dangerous work. Hazardous child labor is work which significantly impacts a child's health, safety or morals. 67.2% of children engaged in hazardous child labor are boys. 2/3 of children in hazardous child labor are 15 to 17 years of age. 61.4% of children working in hazardous conditions are not attending school. Compared with other groups, a higher percentage of children in hazardous child labor work in construction or industry. 40.6% of children who work under hazardous conditions work for more than 40 hours a week. Among the children who work for long hours, over half are aged 15 to 17. Children in hazardous child labor are often faced with unsafe working conditions, which makes them vulnerable to accidents and health problems. Findings show that increased intensity of labor participation decreases the likelihood of school attendance. The age of children tends to rise alongside the intensity of involvement in work. The proportion of boys participating in work also increases alongside the workload. Overall, the percentage of children engaged in economic activities in Vietnam decreased significantly between 2012 and 2018. Furthermore, the percentage of working children attending school increased by nearly 20% compared to 2012. Children should not be working. but gaining an education to equip them with the knowledge and skills to improve their chances in life. Vietnam is committed to eliminating child labour in all its forms. The 2018 National Child Labour Survey findings shine a spotlight on child labour in Vietnam, which will inform the upcoming National Action Plan for the Prevention and Reduction of Child Labour. This will ensure a better future for our children and for the country.